think we don't talk about consciousness very much. We don't talk about deconscious. We don't talk about consciousness. We don't talk about the voice within ourselves. We don't talk about the voices within ourselves. And I think that it's important, being that it drives us and creates or destroys along the way. And I know that it's hard to understand, but we also don't ponder on who are we, who am I? Ask that question and get to the root cause of it. Spend some time with it. Stay with the problem. There's a voice. There's several voices within us, but there is a voice that I say, I gotta do X, Y, and Z today. I gotta achieve those things. How am I gonna get there? Do I have an address for that? There's a voice that I can hear speaking to me as I'm thinking. It's the voice of thought. I am not the voice. I am the one that hears the voice. So there's something there. Are you the voice that speaks the voice? Are you the voice that hears the voice? If there is no voice, who is there to hear it? It's interesting. It's interesting. You're thinking it, and you're having this conversation. It's very natural, but it's interesting to try to define. And then there is the voices, which is basically every memory that comes into play concerning what you're dealing with at that moment. It's being addressed. It's trying to have a voice. And between your nervous system reacting to that memory and your nervous system and mind reacting to other voices, there could be a lot of anxiety because of it. And anxiety can, for the most part, be dealt with, at the very least avoided, in a very large part. And I believe that we need to understand what causes anxiety in order for us to avoid it, in order for us to make different choices that don't cause anxiety. Because I believe anxiety is also causing a lot of depression, and it's ruining relationships, and it creates a huge conflict within. And most of us haven't even learned who we are, much less have coped with how to deal with those voices, how to deal with the voice within, how to deal with the thinker, how to deal with ourselves, and how to collaborate it all into a magical human experience here on Earth. And maybe people are not talking about it because people can't understand it, or are we not talking about it because we're scared of the unknown? I just think that it's more scary to ignore our consciousness and what it is, and the learning of it, and to understand it, and to understand how to interact with it all, and how to create a collaboration that will maximize the experience, the human experience. Just a thought. It's a large part of what I write, what I like to write about. All my blogs, the million blogs, and in the book, it's a lot of it is about consciousness at certain different levels, from different perceptions. But it needs to be addressed if we want to have any hope of being happy, of feeling purpose, of thriving. I think